Hey everybody, my name is Ivy and welcome to my corner of the internet. Today I'm going to be showing you guys my prayer beads and mala misbaha that I have made over the years and talk a little bit about my creative process and inspiration. Before we get too deep, how are you? How you doing? My day has been good. Today's Sunday, is my day off, so I'm really happy. I did some rest. I hung out with my niece today, and yeah, I cooked myself some breakfast. It's really cool. Over here is my mama's cross stitching kit. So today is Sunday. My birthday was on Thursday, and I spent the day with my grandpa because I had the day off work, and it's my first birthday off work in a long time. So I was really happy. And over here is just some, it's actually the whole kit, but this is some floss that I had, and this is one of her like works in progress. It still has the needle in it and everything. Like, I don't know how to cross stitch. The more I'm learning to cross stitch, I'm like, but I just started doing my research today, so I have faith in myself. It can't be that difficult. But look at this script, like, this is some tedious work, but it's super beautiful, and I'm excited to get to her level of cross stitching because I don't know, like, it's always been an inspiration to me. I never learned from her. We mostly did other things together, but I never learned how to cross stitch from her because she said that I had to dig in that closet and find the materials myself, and I didn't know where to begin because there's just a big closet. My papa, we had to pull everything out of it just to find it. So, well, we weren't even looking for this stuff, but I'm not even mad at it. I'm super excited. Drop in the comments how your day's going and any new crafts that you're working on. I would love to know. Just let me know because I love that crafting stuff. I'm really into doing stuff with your hands. I love to paint. I love to do the pastels. I love to, weave and stuff like that. So let me know what you're into, and I want to learn something new. And if you're into cross stitching, maybe you link some resources. Anyway, we're gonna talk about one of my favorite crafts is beading and beading prayer beads in particular. So essentially, my intentions for this video is to show off my handiwork, my handicrafts. I want to log something for future me to look back on because like a lot of this work is going to be given to somebody else because I've completed orders and I have some gifts for friends. Overall, I just want to share some insights into my creative process and inspiration that nobody asked for. I'm gonna find my way outside because I wanted to see the beads in natural lighting. Well, I want you guys to see the beads in natural lighting. Although it is like 6 o'clock or so, so maybe the sun is pretty, maybe it's going down and it's gonna be dark. We won't know until we get out there. But I'm really excited to show you guys everything. Yeah. Let's go outside. Let's go outside. My parents are in the backyard doing their thing, putting together the grill and stuff. So I'm just gonna sit right here between the cars outside and show you guys the stuff. So of course I'm outside, so if you hear noises and stuff, like cars literally driving by, people are probably gonna be outside, so you already know. Tune it out. Ignore it. This is the bag that I have all of the beads in. I don't know if I can get y'all to see, but yeah, this is what the garden of beads is looking like inside this bag. All right, so part of it is going to be obviously, like I said, showing you guys my craft, and the other part of it is just going to be me yapping. So look at how pretty they are. So right here, this is my pal. Like, these are personally mine. This one is the only one in this whole collection that I purchased, and the rest are ones that I've made. These are beads in the collection that are going to be given away to people very soon, and in me making this video, I'm like really procrastinating. I've been procrastinating on making this video, so I definitely am procrastinating on getting these beads out. But I wanted to show you guys first, and I want to make sure I showed me first. And this is the pile that is to be determined on where they're gonna go if someone wants to buy them. These are ones that are pre-made, and I'm constantly pre-making, or like just like making them in general, because they're one of my favorite things to make in the world. You know those merchants that be having their little booths? If I was to have a booth of anything, it would be these prayer beads. That's all I gotta say. And I hope that my voice is loud enough for you to hear me, because I know that I have this issue with not projecting my voice. The beads that I made so far are mala, which are used in meditation, typically like, usually like, all I know is like Buddhist mala, like Buddhist praying with malas and meditating with mala and stuff like that. So the main ones that I do are those, and mishbaha beads, which are the ones that Muslim people used to pray to do, like make dukha. I hope I said that right. Correct me if I'm wrong. And correct me if I also, like, I know that there's many other terms used to describe the prayer beads, the ones with 99 whole beads. I haven't made the smaller version of the beads yet, and I think that may be something I get into in the future if there becomes like a desire for that. But so far, or like if it's a personal, like easier use for me generally, because this is the only reason why I made the prayer beads in the first place. Like, for me personally, I'm a crafts person. I'm not really a go buy it person. Frugal, poor, whatever you want to call it. That's my lifestyle. That's how I live. Yeah, I mostly use gifts, beads from jewelry and stuff like that when I was coming up, and it's constantly a thing now. Like, I don't always have money, so these mala are 108, and I think that mala typically like add up to the number 9, because the smaller ones have 27 beads, you know, 7, 8, 9. I have a few friends that are Muslim that have reverted, and then I have like family members who are literally Muslim. And because there was a desire for me to make them, one of my girlfriends, you know, she got married and stuff, and I wanted to give her something nice, and she kept mentioning people like gifting her these beads that were bought. I pretty much was kind of jealous that she kept getting beads gifted for all these people, and I didn't even know that there were prayer beads for Muslims. I personally am not religious at all, so. And the mishbaha beads for doing the kar is 99, so there's like 3 sets of 33, and I have them separated by these little spacer beads, and it was my first time using actual spacer beads this time. Last time I had these other beads that were just small. The materials that I use in my mala, and I'm just going to show a few different ones because I've used different materials over the years. Not gonna lie, I love doing videos outside because there's all this background noise, so it feels like you're actually here with me having a conversation, and it could be distracting, but it's actually really fun. Anyway, I gathered the beads. My materials usually are, and this one has like all of my most recent stuff. My favorite materials to use right now is hemp string. I love using semi-precious stones. This one is garnet, and I'm gonna call it dendritic agate just for the sake of conversation, but I think it was rutilated agate or something. I don't know. Michael's, I got them from Michael's. I can't rely on what they call the stones. I have glass beads on here, and these all came from something sentimental. Bracelet from my godmom, bracelet that my mama made. These are from Shell. These bone beads, they look like wood, but they're bone, and I love them. These are typical materials that I have used on them, and this is like a sort of Indian agate. So I love using semi-precious stones. I love using natural materials. This is a charm for the guru bead, and I also like to adorn my malas with these charms. So for me, I use my charms, my malas, for my charms and my mala to count my breaths at the beginning of certain meditation cycles. And then when I get to this charm, it reminds me that right about this time I should be shifting my practice to something else. It shows me that like I've spent enough time doing shamatha, and I'm able to move into an immeasurable practice from there. I may not even continue to do mantras and stuff like while I'm doing an immeasurable practice, and I may just hold my beads from there or sit my beads down, but it's just a good marker to let me know that I've done enough grounding if I want to stop, and I can also just keep going. So that's the anatomy of my mala, but I use natural materials like wood in there, glass, stones, of course. And this string right here is a nylon string, and I've used this a couple times. They're really strong, so they're less likely to break on me, and I prefer for like slidability. Although when I use bigger beads and generally if I just want a more natural feel, a little bit more resistance, I use the hemp string. It's one of my favorite strings to use right now. Cotton, I would say, like, for within challenges, because I was going to get into this later, but cotton is one of the only strings that I've experienced break on me after, you know, some wear and some use. So I just don't like using it. I've used like the floss that I showed y'all earlier. I've used that cotton and mercerized cotton floss to do prayer beads and to also do like waist beads and stuff, and they just break so easily. So don't use cotton, y'all. But I use hemp right now, and I'm wondering if it's stronger. I'm really experimenting because everything's just a dance. I've never used hemp before, so right now a lot of the beads that I make are with hemp string. I think that it's a stronger cord, or at least like I've heard that. We're gonna find out. A little more insight. I love beading. I love making pretty things. I love making useful things. So I think it was a very natural segue to get me into making spiritual tools. There's not many spiritual tools that you can bead, so it kind of just came naturally. There's this one lady that I used to, well, I think I still follow her on IG. She used to make mala. Her name's Ivy Does Tarot, and I love her. She is so freaking fun, and she has such a fun, adventurous life. She's also an Aries. I think she's also an Aries, and shout out to us. Happy birthday to us. I was initially inspired by her to make my own beads because I realized that I wasn't going to be able to afford to buy one of hers. So actually, the first mala that I've made is this wooden one with the glass beads from my mama's bracelet that she made, or napkin ring. I think she said it was a napkin ring, but I found a bracelet recently that looks exactly like it, so I think it was a bracelet, and I took it apart. But this was the first one. It's really simple. It has this Indian agate wood beads. I kind of charred them on my lamp, and these glass beads. Super simple, super beautiful. This was my first one, and it was my favorite. I initially knotted them, but after I came back from my first retreat, I took all of my prayer beads that I previously, I just made it. I made it with beauty in mind, without function, because I didn't really have experience for function. But it was my first spiritual thing that I made, and I cherished it. I still cherish it. I love it, and it got me into the drug of making prayer beads. And these are not the only prayer beads that I made. The first design that I did were with 66 beads, and they were so cute. I've made and given away quite a few. I use 66 just because of the numerology and the, like, just the vibration of unity and harmony and connecting the above and below realms to create something new. I really love that vibration. I love the number 66, and 6 is my life path number. So naturally, when I'm making these prayer beads, I want to gear more towards beauty and wearability because I have a jewelry beading background. Yeah, like waist beads, necklaces, bracelets, earrings, the whole shebang. Like, naturally, I want stuff that's convenient to use as well, because I'm a tactile girly. Hand feel and just that general appeal of use and wearability is stuff that I naturally gravitate towards. So with my creative process, I think it's kind of different for each bead. I tend to gear towards, this is what I've noticed generally, I tend to gear towards whatever beads I have the least amount of that are like a statement. So I'll give you an example. This was my first mala I ever got. It was initially a part of this mala sound bowl set, and it was just these wooden beads, and it was, you know, wooden, but I took it and I wanted to make some prayer beads, and I had only 11 of these big round ones. So I decided to break up this into a pattern that evenly enough distributed the beads around 11 of these beads, and this was the pattern that I came up with. And I had this bead that just naturally went with it and used it as a guru and call it a day. Well, actually, that's not true. I had a tassel. I made a tassel around it, and it was all curly and stuff. Oh, the ones who remember. But I work within that limit. I work within the limits of these beads. Something else, some other ways that you can notice it is that these green beads were limited in my supply as well because they came from a bracelet. And even eventually, as I made it bigger with all these extra additions over the years, these little grayish silvery beads, they were limited to me. And then after that, I go on top of with complementary colors, things that look good together. You know, I like things that look good together. I like to create balance in the piece. I think balance is the biggest thing that I focus on when creating, because if it's not balanced, it doesn't look right. Even when things look like seemingly chaotic, this one looks way more unison than the others. I did this one. This is like a pattern, back and forth sort of thing. And this one has no direct pattern, but it has a repetition. So there's a repetitive, each so many wooden beads, there's a repetition or repetitive use of these colors, and it's in a random orientation, but it's well balanced. So it looks like something. These beads right here, I'm just showing y'all all of them now. I'm showing them off. It has a limited amount of these carnelian beads that I was working with, and I wanted to do something with the, I don't know, with the little tassels. After I made that first like tassel, I never again, it's so messy and hard and scary. I mean, like, if you break it, it's messy. You can't take it apart and redo anything with it. You can't fix it. It's impossible. So I was like, no, I'm gonna stick to this bead and have little dingly beads on the side if it fits, if I like it, if I think it's cute. And I think this is cute. I wanted it to be sparkly, starry, in the nighttime sky sort of vibe, you know. I like that sort of thing. Now I'm getting just show and telly. But yeah, there's these ones again. And this was no limitation, actually. It was just my own imagination that I was dealing with. And the rose quartz beads were ones that I kind of had a limited supply of once it got to that point. But other than that, yeah, no, I had plenty, I had abundance, and I wanted to make something really cute. And this is just a simple, basic pattern. One of my favorite conversations to have when I'm creating is with my baby. We be just chatting about my creations and stuff, and he likes to give, I don't know, like, they look like forces of nature to him. And like, I started agreeing because like things look like things, and I love nature. I can't with this. These people are gonna make me go inside. I have no control over that. I like, you know, creative expression with patterns, colors, and textures. So different size beads, as well as like rondelle beads. I love like that just hand feel of something different. Because when I meditate with these ones, it does work well. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love the consistency. And some beads, when you need that consistency, I will like leave that in. But I also just love texture. I'm a texture girly. These are made from seeds. And I didn't make this one, although I did have to redo it because it was missing 2 beads for a full like 108 mala. And I added this detail down here, so I guess I did kind of make it. I made it. I just reused what was there and made something beautifuler. But yeah, this is red bamboo. This is hematite, in case you didn't know. And I only had 3 of these, by the way. And perfect, worked out perfect. I like texture, so this is what I'd be going for. Stuff that feel different, that gives a different vibe. I also like visual texture, so it can be, I don't know, different. Just different. I like things that are unique and beautiful, so of course I want it to look different. I feel like that's a natural response. Anyway, challenges. So I am creatively ambitious. That's what I wrote down. And financially limited. I am creatively ambitious and financially limited. That is the biggest challenge. But I also think that it gives me perfect parameters to work within, because I have limited supplies to work with. I started using hemp string because it's really strong. It's thick enough to hold the beads well, and god damn it, I have enough of it. I have an abundance of hemp string. Okay, so I'll show you some of the more challenging bead sets that I've made. The Mishpaha this go around were challenging, I'm not gonna lie. It was works of art being made through some trying times. And look at this, it is so pretty, right? It's so gorgeous. Coming up with the pattern to be able to use this Imperial Jasper and this is it, Orange Aventurine. So these two different oranges were creating a fight scene in my mind. So I wanted to create a pattern that was nice and cohesive. So if you pay close attention, you can see, the alternate pattern, the alternating bead patterns that I use to be able to maintain this beautiful look. And another challenge was this one. Now this is made for a brother, and I didn't want them to be so like girly, feminine, sparkly, because like, let me show you. This is really sparkly, shimmery, okay? This is a girly, well, you know, anyone could wear them, of course, but this is one that I made for one of my girlfriends. Actually, Natalie, shout out to you. This is yours. This is yours. And my brother, his favorite colors are black and green, so I ordered some matte onyx and some moss agate beads to go along with it. And I used garnet from Jayla's, and I used, yeah, some of these like clear glass beads that I already had. And the pattern is way more subtle because it's over this whole string. I'm gonna turn my head so you can see it. This part is a bit different, but yeah, this was a challenge to get the colors to look cohesive together while also being a masculine, subtle feel, a subtle vibe. And I also use this bead as a guru bead with these Dalmatian jasper right here. This is super cute. I'm not gonna lie, but it's really like, I think it'll be good for a guy. And it's also, I don't know, it looks good. It looks, that's clean. I'm really hyped. I hyped myself up about them. And this one is an example of one that was like obviously like really easy. This one is for my sister, and I used this really big one as a guru and these amethyst beads. But this is Charite and glass with this ruby zoisite beads in the middle, and that's the pattern. It's a really simple pattern, so it was easier for me to accomplish. Look at that sunlight. The sun is setting. I love the sunset vibe, I'm not gonna lie. But this is like a regular guru bead, and I think that that's fine. You know, on other pretty beads I've seen these used, and they're really good to mark, you know, the end of your journey. And most times you just start all over, you flip it around and go again. These ones that I made have a different sort of situation where it's just a knot right here, and I've done that quite a few times with the beads. I haven't heard any complaints about it, so I'm not gonna get too wrapped up in it. I think it's fine, but those are just different closures or whatever. But yeah, dilemmas that I've dealt with are buying beads online. So the orange beads that I showed you guys, I bought these online, and I didn't know that these were going to be two different color oranges. I don't know if you could tell right here. I couldn't tell that these were going to be different color oranges. So, well, I kind of knew, but I was hoping that they were going to be complementary. But when you can't see them in your hands face to face, you can't make that decision. But it has been a challenge and not a complete like down, like, you know, down or, you know, bad thing, because I was able to work it out and use all the beads instead of like having to only use one. So I was able to use all the color palette that I had before me and make something that was really beautiful. I have that way of like turning a challenge into a raging success. Let's just say that. I'm really good at that. I think that's the only dilemma that I've had so far. And using limited resources is kind of a dilemma, because when I bought, hold on, I'm gonna show you. When I bought these beads, I was hoping they were going to be this size. You see that? That's a huge difference, okay? This is ginormous compared to this. So I thought they were going to be bigger and that I was going to be able to use these as guru beads, but did not end up being the case. And the colors that I wanted to use for Jayla's wasn't enough of them. It was only one orange bead, so I was kind of pissed. But I got over it really quickly as I was able to make up for it and do things differently. So I wrote down that my other challenge was my grandiose nature. I like making big, beautiful things. I like doing it big. So here's another example. Isn't this gorgeous? This one is Teezy's. And I like to make stuff like this, so it can be a challenge when I want to use all the colors in the world. I want to use all the beads, this different variety to create these different textures. I'm gonna show you guys this one again because this is a perfect example of me using all of the beads. I just wanted there to be a sense of like beauty and cohesiveness, but I wanted to use all these different beads. I wanted to use these ones and have enough. I wanted to use the wooden ones to have enough. I wanted to use these ones because I was never able to use these agate beads. So this is also pink tourmaline, by the way. This is a pink tourmaline, glass, bone. I had a limited supply of these by the time I was making this. Some bronzite, garnet. This is celestite, glass. Beautiful, beautiful. I fucking love it. And then I ended up turning the charms into this sort of guru bead. Super cute. This one is available if anyone wants it. Although I might snatch it up myself if nobody does. This is another one. Yeah. I just use a lot of beads. A lot of different colors. So it could be a challenge to make it balanced and cohesive. But I like that type of challenge. It's my favorite type of challenge. I had to decide whether or not I'm going to do more, do less. It's up to me. But it's really up to the beads and how they want to communicate and how the piece wants to go. There was a question that I asked myself about doing a knotted mala versus one with space. So it's knot versus space. And I will let you guys know right now that I'm a space girly. The first mala that I ever purchased, which was this one, I bought it after I'd made knotted malas and knotted prayer beads for everybody. Saw this and I was like, I started meditating with it. I got this from the Garden of 1,000 Buddhas on my first trip to Montana when I did my summer retreat with Non-Chalk Retreat, Compassion in Action program, summer immersion retreat. I went out there. So this sliding function was first introduced to me then when I was learning how to meditate in a like formal setting, and it just never left me. I came home and took apart these ones, put them back together as how they are now. The first ones that I redid, and I love it. I actually love it. This is perfect for me. It's the perfect distance. The hand feel is amazing. I feel very deeply connected when I use that. And then eventually I remade these. I did the first draft of these ones. These ones, I got this Purba from the same place, and I made these beads inspiring of it. Well, inspired by it. I used these tiger's eye, and this is celestite, and these blue shells. I don't know why the blue. I guess it's because like Purba is like for purity, purifying your afflictions and things like that. And that blue, the celestite, just really connected. I did these. I can never get tired of seeing these. This is my favorite ones, and they're super gorgeous. These started out as just beads that I prayed with only for prayer. There were 66. Then I made it to a 99, well, a 90. And then I made it to a full 108. So I'm obsessed, obviously, with those ones because I took them apart, put them back together, I did 2 knotted versions, and then when I realized that I prefer slide, I was like, you know what? When I remake them, I'm going to make them a whole 108 mala, and then I did. There are some that I have pictures of that I'm just going to have to make a Substack post about them because I'm not putting pictures in the videos. That's just not what I'm going to do. So once again, because I'm obsessed with them, this one is Teezy's. This is going to get shipped out. This one is Keela's. And I'm really excited for her to see them on the side. I'm excited for Asad to see these. Ain't it gorgeous? And it sparkle. I love sparkly things. They're so cute. I'm obsessed. These ones for Natalie. These ones, I'm like literally so excited for her to get her hands on them. I love it. The tiger's eye, the garnet. But this set, these are the ones that have not been given to anyone yet. So if you want to buy them, you just have to reach out to me directly, like through DMs, through email. I'm more likely to see your email. I don't check my Instagram very frequently for newcomers, but definitely follow me if you want them. We're gonna have a conversation. We're gonna have an interview. I want to see if you actually meditate, what your practice is like, or if you want to get the Mishbaha, the Muslim prayer beads. Then of course, like, we have to have a conversation about design preference and how long, you know, what you like, what's gonna pour into these beads. I like to be motivated when I'm doing this. This is a part of my personal spiritual practice. Can you tell? But if you want to like chat about it, we can develop like a sort of relationship. I can give you these, or you can buy them at I have a set price for them of $70 a piece. But if that's not affordable for you and you want one, then we're gonna have to have a conversation. Okay? And I also did it because it's like really personal for me, and this is really intimate for me. So of course, like, if I'm giving away a part of me, I want to know who it's going to make sure it's going to be well taken care of and well looked after. That's like literally like, that's a big thing of mine. And that's with anything. That's with these care packages that I'm coming out with, which I think my next video is going to be about that, because I have all the notes written down. But I want to get this out first because these have people that they're going to. They have people that they belong to. And the care packages, depending on the interview, how the interviews go for those, I may be including a prayer bead set in there. And also, if you just want the beads and you don't want to qualify for them with the care packages, then you can pay more. It's not that hard. But it does, like, I put my heart and soul into these, and I'm going to make sure that they're going into good hands, that they're going to be looked at, held, worn, and prayed with, meditated with. So that's my whole thing. And like I said, or if you want customs, you also reach out to me. The baseline price is $70 plus whatever shipping and handling is going to cost me. I would say as much time as it takes me on average for an easy one, like these two. These are really easy. It took me like 2 hours 30 minutes to get through those, but it's like at least 2 hours and 30 minutes to get through them. A lot of times it takes me 3 or 4 hours to make it because of the patterns, the intricacy, getting the bead weight, all of that stuff correctly, because I'm using stuff that I have in my stash and I'm buying more. I said that last part the way that I did because I find that these crafts is something personal to me. This is my first time actually giving these things away, distributing them out. The first beads that I ever, I think, given away, like official prayer beads that I knew were going to be used for that purpose, was to my best friend Leah. And she loves her beads. She don't use them as much as I want her to, but she says because she cherished them too much, and I'm like, I can't be mad at the girl, okay? Leah being the first person that I gifted them to, but then also Natalie for being someone that, like, Natalie really inspired me to just get home and just make some more prayer beads, and that's how I got the newer designs that I have, which are super gorgeous. And I'm super grateful to her for that. And shout out to Teasy for claiming one of my favorite freaking pieces. The ones that I have, I never did a groove beat like this before. This is super gorgeous. This was also a challenge piece because I just picked out colors I didn't think about how they're going to go together. And that was just, but you chose something super gorgeous, and shout out to you because of your awesome astrology reading that you gave me, and that I was able to actually exchange that along with some other things to go alongside it. So that really filled my heart with so much tender love and joy. And shout out to Dee for placing an order with me for the 3 Mishbaha beads. This was only the second, third, and fourth times that I've done it. So Actually 5th, because I did Leah's twice, but I took them apart and redid it. Does that count? I'm gonna say did it count because I got a picture of it. Anyway, I'm really happy about all of this, and it just makes my heart open and flutter. These are some of my favorite things to create. I don't know if I said that or how many times I said that, but anyway, I want to dedicate the merit of this. I wrote down a little dedication prayer. Sky may be barking in the background. There's guys out here laughing and talking, but I'm still gonna do it. And I wrote it down, so I'm just gonna read it. So whenever you're ready, just take a deep breath. Oh, the wind is tickling my cheeks. The sun is really setting on my video and is coming to a close. On Jolly Mudra. May any merit gained from this joyous sharing go to the generation of more open-hearted joy, love, and creativity in all beings. Across time, space, and dimensions, and bring us liberation from suffering. In whatever roundabout way it may happen. Ashe. Yeah. Messy, sloppy, and make it happen. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for being in this space with me, enjoying this outside experience. But yeah, I just wanted to say bye. I hope you have a wonderful whatever time you have going on. And if it's not wonderful, I hope this brought you some entertainment and some respite, even in this time in your life. Let me know once again whatever type of crafts you're into, and maybe follow me on Instagram. My stuff is gonna be down below. This clanking is kind of irking, so I'm about to get skirting and find me something to eat. Peace out and much love. So beautiful here.